Hey guys, Paul here with Late Night Games. It is Friday, the 26th of April, and as I said already a few times, we're in the final stretch of the VEDA challenge. This will be the last Friday of VEDA. Come next Friday, we will be going back to our general channel news update vlog that we used to have on Fridays, where I'll still talk a little bit about myself, but more so about the channel. Today, what I want to talk about is the graduated licensing system for motor vehicles in Canada. Only because that'll make what happened today make that much more sense. Now, the graduated licensing system in Canada is for getting a motor vehicle license, a G-Class license. You actually need to go through a process. Now, I know in the US they have learner's permits, and then after that you can get your G. In Canada, the first thing you do is you take a written test, and you get what's called a G1 level license. A G1, you need another driver with you to be able to drive. They need to be licensed for 5 years. They need to be over a certain age. Basically, a qualified driving instructor, teacher, mentor person to teach you to drive. You need to have this for a year, unless you take driver's training, which can cut it down a little bit. But for the most part, you have to have this a year. Afterwards, you're able to go for your driving test to go for what's called the G1 exit test, and that lets you out of the G1 phase of the graduated licensing system. Upon completion of this test, which is driving and parking and things along those lines, you get a G2, or a second level G license. The G2 gives you all the privileges of an everyday driver, a fully licensed driver. Except if you're under the age of 20, if you are a teenager, then you have a lot more stipulations on the number of passengers you can have, how after certain times of night, things along those lines. Otherwise, a G2 driver just needs to have at least one working seatbelt for every passenger in the car and a 0 blood alcohol level. Really, when it comes to driving, there's no big difference. With a G2 class license, you can go to other countries and still drive as though you're a G-class driver. There is no discernible difference there, except for with insurance. Insurance companies, for the first year you have your G2, show you a little slack, and then they kind of just bend you over and give it to you hard. Now, that first year is similar to with the G1. You need to wait at least a year before you try and take your G2 exit test. After you successfully pass that, which is another driving test, but also involves highway driving, you then get your full G-Class license. Reason this is important? I love driving, and I've been driving for a few years now. And as I mentioned to you guys probably a few times now, I used to have vision issues, so when I was younger I couldn't drive. I didn't actually get a license until fairly recently. But I had a G2, meaning that the insurance companies were kind of bending it over to me and giving it to me. Until today. This morning I went and took my G2 exit test, and I passed with flying colors. Because, I mean, I drive all the time. I'm a safe driver. When I want to be. I'm a safe driver, and I know how to drive properly, so there was no real fear of me failing the test. The only reason I didn't take the test until now is time and money, because you have to pay for each of these tests. And I just never had the time and the money and the realization of, oh, hey, I should do that at the same time, until about a month ago when I scheduled it, and today was the first day available. So I did that this morning, passed with flying colors, and then my second stop was to head straight to my insurance company. And lo and behold, my insurance dropped to half of what it is. Actually, it didn't really drop to half. Not many insurance companies will deal with G2 level drivers. Usually only a few will. So the company I was dealing with raised all their rates for everyone, but raised their rates for G2 drivers even more. So across the board there was a hike of rates. I ended up paying about $360 a month just for basic liability on a modern-day family car, nothing fancy. I paid less on the Firebird when the Firebird was on the road last. Like, this was getting ridiculous, which is one of the main things that encouraged me to get this taken care of. By switching to a new insurance company that will take me now because I'm a full G driver, and them not bending me over and giving it to me, I have literally cut it from $4,000 a year down to $2,000 and change. So my payments went from $360 to $180. Literally cut my payments in half. So that's kind of awesome. And I'm really happy about that. Which makes me realize, had I done this a year and a half ago when I was eligible to it, how much money I would have saved over the past year. I basically threw $2,000 away because I procrastinated for a year. This is a valuable lesson to you all. Do not procrastinate. It's costly. It can cost you big amounts of moolah that you could better use elsewhere, like for tacos or spicy chicken wings, just not super spicy chicken wings. So that all being said, I'm rather excited that I finally got that all taken care of and out of the way. That's settled. Now I don't have to go for driving tests any further. Not that it was a challenge. The lady I was with was very pleasant, and it was basically turn left, turn right, get on the highway, get off the highway, turn left, turn right, get on the highway, get off the highway, parallel park, 3-point turn, done. And if you're someone who drives every day, that's a cakewalk. If you're someone who doesn't have a car and you're going for that test, yeah, I can see it being a little tricky if you're someone who maybe drives once a month and doesn't ever go on the highway. But for me, it was meh. Anywho, for these last 4 days of the VEDA challenge, I'm going to see if I can come up with something unique. Not promising anything, but I'll see if I can rack my brain and come up with some fun ideas for these last few days. Also, I am going to see if it's in Rob's schedule to see if I can get him here on Tuesday so that me and him can do a review for some of the games we've played. Actually, no, because I haven't posted any of the games we've played. Never mind. I'll start posting the games that we've played. I've got a whole bunch of them recorded and lined up and rendered and ready to go. I just gotta start releasing them. So I'll see if I can release any of them then by this Tuesday. And then that will be our April videos. And then the first Tuesday of May will be when we'll review those. And then the first Tuesday of every month will be when we review the previous month's games. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. Alright, but that all being said, we've got a really busy day ahead of me today. It's a gorgeous day outside, and I got a lot of running around to do. Also got to finish up at work, but that's almost done for the day. So, take care, guys. I'll see you guys. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye now.